G'day everyone, welcome back. So a bit of a different one this morning. As you can see, I'm not in my normal attire. I'm even wearing shorts because we're about to go and jump into Henry's dam water tank, and clean it out because it is full of mud. And now I need to try and find where my boots are. Just there. So Henry's dam tank, it's a design flaw with the pump, and we're going to change it because it sucks mud when the dam gets too low. So I'm not sure if I'll end up showing you it or not today, but essentially think of a big float ball. This is the pump. So you got a big float ball that sticks out of the water, and then the pump sits down about, maybe about a foot into the water, something like that. But as the dam gets lower and lower and lower, the pump gets into the mud before you realise, because it's deceptively long, and it'll start sucking like the soft mud, so the mud that won't block everything up just yet. Anyway, it gets into the tank, settles the tank out, and then the worst part is when you come to draining the tank low, which does happen like now because we're carting water for it, all the retic ends up all full of mud, and it's just a nightmare for Henry down there. I should know because it happened to me many a time. So while his tank is actually empty now, we need to go and refill it. We're going to get in there and we're going to clean it out. And what sparked my thinking of, why is it happening, is when I went and filled the dam tank that's up here, which is for the retic and the toilets down at the quarters, that had like no mud in it, even though that dam's gone dry a few times. But the pump, I designed that so that it was sitting like on floats, and when the floats hit the water, it hit the mud, you couldn't get, the pump couldn't suck mud. So we'll go down and we'll do that. All right, so we're here at the tank, and let me show you inside. So you can see it's quite a very thick layer of mud. When I get in there, I'll take the camera in and I'll show you, but Henry's just taking off the outlet off here because it restricts the amount of mud that we can get out at a time because it's next down. So once we've got that off, I'll jump in and show you what we're doing. Alright, so it's very slippery. You can see how thick this mud is in here. If we come over to the entrance hole here, it is, the mud, it's probably up to there. So I don't know, the problem is it goes into Henry's retic all the time, and it's a big ass fuck. And it causes an issue. So we'll clean this out. Hopefully it all comes out nicely. I wonder if a paint scraper would, the paint stirrer, stir up all the mud, make it into water. So the problem is we've got a 2-inch hole we're trying to go through, and then we need to get the mud so it's liquid enough to go out. We do have the fire unit here as well to help with the process. Right, so it is working. We've got a hell of a lot of mud out using the water and stirring it up. As you can see, I've now got a drill with a bit of a paint scraper, paint stirring thing on the end, just to try and, what we need to do is just atomise the mud. It didn't come in looking like that, it came in looking, you know, like this, and then as it's settled in the tank, it's settled into that mud. So I'm just going along trying to atomise it so it'll just flow out by itself. And I'm reminded if I get too carried away. So I've hopped out, we've stirred it up, and we just had a little water in there, so we're like, well, we'll just let it all drain out. Seems to have drained most of it out now. And you can see the mud pile we got out here. But because this tank, one, isn't actually level, it's more the low points on that side, and obviously your fitting isn't on the ground, you end up with still quite a fair bit left in there. So I'm not sure how we're going to get it all out if we just get in there again and use shovels and just keep pushing it to the edge. But it's a timely process. Well, Henry wanted to jump in, so he's in there scooping all the stuff to the outlet. And what I did was I took this one off as well. That one was still on, and it was just still that little bit high, and it made a hell of a difference because it's it's now flowing out a bit easier now, which is good. Henry's nearly finished in there, so I've just come down to the dam. So I am a liar, I will be showing you the pump, and what we're going to do is we're going to flush the line. So here is the pump. Now as you can see, that's where the water line always is, and I was wrong, it's more like 2 feet that this thing hangs down in the water, and that there is the inlet. So maybe it's about 1.5 feet to where the inlet is. So you're sucking up all that mud in there. We really should try and clean that out, I just don't have time. But yeah, like I was saying in the tank, not sure if you guys had heard me, but like this wasn't pumping that thick gross mud, it was pumping like the black water is what it pumps, and then when it's in the tank it settles out and then becomes that disgusting lump in there. So I was going to take it off there, but I think I might actually have a one-way valve in this. I believe that's a one-way valve. So instead of taking it off at the pump, I'll just take it off here at the tap here. We basically just want to flush this line here because this line is, one, it's empty, but it's going to have mud in there. Now when we flush it, it might actually just be completely dry in there, that nothing's going to come out, but we want to flush it so when it comes time for when Henry has got some rain and this tank fills again, and by tank I mean dam, then it's going to be no issues. Well, there is water in there. If YouTube had a smell function, you'd smell just how bad that smells. That smells horrible. So with that water being clear, I actually don't know if we're going to get much out of it by flushing it, but we've got the fire in it there, so we might as well flush it while we've got it there. If it's all clear and nothing happens, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah, as long as you hold on, you'll be alright. So Henry's nearly finished in there. Cal's holding on to the end of that, hoping he doesn't get wet. That's flushing the line out, so that's the line that goes all the way down to the dam. Ideally it'd be better to have someone down there watching it down there, but alright, we'll flush a couple 100 litres through. Yeah, I don't think we're going to achieve much because it was clear water down there, but at least we've done it. Right, I've left the boys down there. Henry was just keeping on shoveling out the water as much as he could, so that you know, that was all empty. I'm back at the shed, as you've guessed it. Brian is nearly here, so we're gonna unload some potash. Wrong one. Wait, where is the load? Oh, the loader's over in that shed. With our big shed shuffle yesterday, I lost where everything is. So yes, Brian's here with the potash, so we're going to unload him and get that all away, squared away, so that's all good. When he gets here, which nearly sounds like he's here, you'll notice his truck's different. So he's all of his trucks are out on jobs that, you know, he's been committed to for a while. So he's, I think he's borrowed someone's truck. I don't know if he's borrowed someone's trailers, but he's definitely borrowed someone's truck. So that's why it looks different when he gets here. Yep. Forward. Yep. Up. Rightio, because we've got the big shed now that we don't have to split it down the middle, I'm not going to push it all up till Brian has done his second trailer, because he's just going to come right next to it and do it here. But this is potash, so it's a bit different to, you know, your other fertilizers. It's more of a rock, so as you can see, it's more like just, yeah, rock that will dissolve, but it is a source of potassium, and this is really good for our sandy soils. So we'll be going from 20 to 50 kilos a hectare across our sands, and yeah, it will improve the yield and the soil structure on our sands. It's something that we should have done a long time ago, and back in the day Dad used to spread out potash, but since we haven't done it in over 12, 14, 15 years, something like that. But it's something that we're going to get to and do now. We've got the spreader, we've got the manpower, so we're going to do it. So we've got variate maps that we'll be going over sand, and definitely so around where we've done deep ripping, not deep ripping, what's it called? Claying and spading. That'll just be ideal for that sort of country. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a response to this out on those sands. If you burn paddocks, you also get a potash response when you burn your paddocks, because the stubble burning down, so you'll see a higher yield where you've burnt. But we don't burn because you guys have seen how windy this year's been. It's a shocker. So if we burn, we just lose our paddocks. All the sand blows, and it's just a nightmare. But potash will keep Cal entertained for the next week at least. So yeah. Right, I need to still shovel this off and sweep the shed, but I'm going to head down and check on the guys, see how they're going. But there you go, 55 tonne of potash right there, which is going to be good for the soil. But we'll head down and we'll go see the guys and just make sure they're going all right, because when I left, Henry was still in the tank. So we'll go and check on them, make sure everything's all good, and then I reckon this afternoon we're going to work on getting the tractor sorted to go spreading, and I might get Cal starting to cut some water, because obviously we need some water to Henry's tank there. Right, so the guys were all done and dusted at the tank, so I've just come down to our dam here just to see how much water's left in it, because Cal's going to be carting some water this afternoon. Now let me show you what a crap ton of evaporation looks like. That mark there was when I did one load, and it went to this mark here, and then now look at that. That is all evaporation. It is just mind-boggling how quick it can go. So what we might do, and you know, a lot of guys have suggested it with the comments, is, you know, you need to be putting it in tanks. I don't have a tank to chuck it in, but I might get Cow carting to the shed, and we'll cart until that tank's full. So that's 250,000 litres, so we'll cart that, make that one full. We then might cart to, so the dam tank that feeds cows, like the quarters house, we'll cart to that one there, and then we can just draw out of that whenever we need to. There's an extra 230,000 litres, and then finally he can then cart to Henry's tank there, and then that means we're all good with water. It's scary. We need rain. Right, it is time to get the cage off of that. So we don't need the cage anymore. The fertilizer, obviously that potash is, you know, it's screened, it's graded stuff, so we don't need to put it through our big screen. So there's no need to have it. And actually this is the last spreading we're going to do this year, because we're not doing urea anymore. But even if we were, we wouldn't need the cage on top. So we need to take that cage off, and then we also need to swap out the spinners out the back. So they are on the 4 vein spinners, which is for for gypsum and lime, so your sands. And we need it to be on the 6 vein ones, which is for your fertilizers. So that's our job for this afternoon. I've got the forklift hooked onto the fire unit. Henry's just going to take the spreader down to the back of the paddock there, and we're going to wash it out. It's still got lime held up in places and all over the mat, so we need to wash that out, get that all clear, so that when we put the fertilizer in, we've got it so it's at a neutral weight, and that just waiting for Henry. And when we go to spread, we've got potash coming out instead of lime. So give it a quick wash, and then we'll reverse it into the shade there, and we'll start attacking these spinners. Although I've got to go and pick one of my daughters up from the school bus, so I will be leaving shortly to go and do that. Getting rid of all that yummy stuff. So I've got gone and picked up the daughter. She's not feeling well, so I'm about to take her home. But as you can see, Henry's been changing these over. So that was the old one, and we're changing it to the new one. Well, changing it from sand to Fert, which is that. So the 6 vein, it's more precise because you're using a lot smaller doses. You know, we're going 20 to 50 kilos instead of 1 and 2 tons. So we'll get that all done and should be sorted. So we'll leave the video there. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And we'll see you in the next one.